All right, guys, we're going to start off this week's episode with a very special tribute to Chris Cornell, who passed away recently. And I wanted to say that I am and was and will be a very big fan of Chris Cornell's music from his time in Soundgarden and his projects with Temple of the Dog and Audio Slave and mostly his solo work. It was sad to hear the news, and we hate to start off with sad news, but I think it is very significant for us to mention that he did commit suicide at the age of 52, and this week's episode will be dealing with some very heavy topics like the one that I just mentioned.
And I know for me this is a very serious topic, and it's something that's very dear to my heart. My brother, about 5 years ago, tried to commit suicide in the same fashion by hanging himself. And my dad kind of knew something was kind of off. He was like asking how to tie a noose and asking questions that, normally you wouldn't ask those type of questions. And then he just kind of disappeared, and my dad sent my niece to look for him, and she found him in the garage and very fortunately found him in time that my dad and his friend were able to take him down, and the police or the paramedics came and were able to resuscitate him. And so, it's something that's dear to my heart with this episode and with what just happened with Chris Cornell that, I think it's an important topic to talk about.
Yeah, same goes for me too. Like, unfortunately, one of my good friends, when I was younger, actually, he did the same thing, but he actually did pass away. And it's crazy because me and one of my other friends seen him at the park I think a week or probably like 3 or 4 days before that actually happened, and he was talking about how he wanted to do this and wanted to do that, and we were talking about, yeah, man, we just go ahead and get together and, we just do some stuff, And then he seemed really optimistic about starting something new, And then coming the next week, I get a call saying that happened, and it's like, it's just shock. It's like, I just seen him, and then he's gone. And then the way he went is like, man, it's like, I don't know how you could go with that, you leave so many people behind, your family, you got a little brother, stuff like that too, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's real devastating.
Yeah, in retrospect, you start to look for all of the signs or all of the clues that there might have been there, and that's kind of the aftermath of a tragedy like that. And so we're tying this in with 13 Reasons Why this week because that show at least gives us an opportunity to, even if it's fiction, look at the perspective of the person that committed suicide and the reasons that they give, even after they've done what they were going to do, the reasons that they give for why they did it, which is not an opportunity that everybody has.
And I think it's an important thing to discuss because I think a lot of times people treat it almost like it's a taboo subject, and it's not something that you can address on a daily basis, or don't talk about that, it's negative, it's depressing, or whatnot. But I think the show is kind of an important thing to really address it head on and to really kind of analyze what happened, why it happened, things that people in the situation maybe could have done differently when they were so focused on themselves instead of being focused on other people. And I think it is important to not treat it as a taboo subject and to deal with it head on.
Yeah, there was plenty of controversy behind the show when the show started getting its buzz and becoming more popular and people were seeing it because some of the reports were that, and some of the reviews were that it glamorized the topic of suicide and things like that, and I in general disagree with that. I mean, you can't really glamorize that at all. There's really no way to do it. I mean, it is a topic that needs to be discussed, and it's a serious topic, and the more you talk about it, whatever perspective you have on it, the more you can get to the bottom of maybe some of the reasons why people decide to make that ultimate and horrible choice.
Yeah, and then in high school, like a lot of stuff goes on in high school. There's a lot of different personalities. People find who they are, who they're gonna be, like later on in life. So, upon that discovery, it's a lot of ups and downs, like a roller coaster. And then being a teenager, some of those ups and downs may feel like the biggest thing that's gonna happen in your life. And then some of those people need to understand that life's way bigger than that, and it's not this little thing that you're going through is not going to last that long. And it takes a lot of guidance from teachers, parents, especially other friends, yeah, especially their peers, to help each other go through stuff like that. Because if you don't have that kind of help, you always run into a lot of shut doors. That could push certain people to this extreme.
It goes to show you too that being that Chris Cornell was a married man with children, age 52, and you think, well, you're past the difficult time where you're in danger of doing something so horrible, but he was 52 years old, and he was, I'm sure, still carrying and dragging some of the issues he had been for a very long time. So it's not just a teen issue, it's an issue all on its own that for some people they can overcome, and for others they continue to live through it till their last moments.